Our first agenda item, item 2.1, discussion and or action concerning board participation in Link and Learn program and matters related to the program. I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
I'll second.
Move to accept.
Second.
And I'll second.
Do we have any comments from the public? Any additional comments from board members?
Madam President, if someone can explain briefly the concept of the program, it'd be beneficial to those who do not know. Yeah, just a discussion.
Should I keep my mask on? All right, I will. So the Link and Learn is an extension of the Love Our Schools initiative that we started last year, and this year it was a way for Love Our Schools to pivot during the pandemic and assist the school district with their needs. And so we, collectively the community, primarily the Pew Family Foundation, Mr. Todd Mouton, who's here today with us, Anna Oslin, who is with the One Acadiana, formerly Chamber of Commerce, and myself, Ryan DiMaggio, with the Schumacher Family Foundation, have been embedded with the school district for the past 9 weeks. And when I mean embedded, I mean in this room with service providers and literally on over 100 Zoom calls, twice as many phone calls and meetings in order for us to work with the school district to support the school district. And we've been doing this since I guess our initial discussion was in the April-May timeframe. And the idea was that we knew that virtual learning in some form was likely going to take place in this community, and we wanted to get ahead of the curve and assist the school district in finding ways for us to provide access to those who don't have access currently. And so we've identified about 7,000 students in approximately 5,000 homes in Lafayette Parish who are without internet connectivity. And so what we've come up with is pretty simple: some short-term solutions and a long-term solution. And the short-term solution is we are working with the school district to equip 40+ school buses with Wi-Fi access. We are pushing Wi-Fi internet connectivity from the schools out into the parking lot so kids can access those. We're working with community leaders to stand up Link and Learn access networks in places like the libraries or coffee shops or businesses or schools or churches, where children can walk in or get in the parking lot and access a Link and Learn network so they can get their homework done. The school district has already purchased hotspots, some over 1,000 hotspots for the kids who are maybe homeless or transient. And so all of those are short-term solutions that do a lot of good, but not enough. But one of the major initiatives that we engaged in was in engaging with service providers, Cox, LUS, and AT&T, who came to the table literally in this room immediately and had discussions with us about how they could benefit the community, working with us to partner and provide access to kids and families of the school district during this pandemic. And what we have before you today through the school district is an ability to fund a short-term solution to hook up in the next probably 60 days 5,000 homes, 7,000 children to internet connectivity during the pandemic. Short-term solution with the lowest price point that you can possibly obtain for a service provider anywhere that we found. Filtered service so it protects the kids and the families. And should you choose to make the decision tonight to fund these short-term solutions, you will do something that, as far as I understand, no one else in the state of Louisiana has done. You will provide services at a time during the pandemic when kids want to learn and need to learn and can't be handed a Chromebook with no access to technology to be able to connect to the internet, and you will provide that. What we will commit to you is we will also go a step further and help you develop a long-term solution. And we being this community, particularly our foundations have agreed to fund an innovative 4G, 5G wireless network overlay solution tested in the 70501 zip code initially. We hope by Christmas or sooner that would provide free connectivity to those communities in those areas. And if that works in that zip code, that we commit that we will find the resources, work with you or do it separately to fund this overlay network in the whole parish. And in 24 months, we can probably say that we are one of the first communities, certainly one of the first school districts in the country, where a child can walk out from their home in the middle of a cane field with an attachment to their iPad and connect to free Wi-Fi to get academic learning, or can walk out into their school system, or can walk out into the community and connect to Wi-Fi and be able to access and learn. And what's great about that is it addresses this digital divide that we've been discussing, this opportunity that people are missing out on and children are missing out on. But even more importantly, what we understand, this solution, this 4G, 5G network is so innovative that it's going to bring technology and solutions to the table that we couldn't even imagine before. And I would venture to say that you will start getting phone calls from other school districts, and you will get phone calls from local colleges and universities, we already are, who want us to do this and want us to partner. So that's a lot to be said, but I can tell you that we've worked really hard with the school district to be able to come to this point in our community where we can say that we did something tonight that is so innovative that others in the state will look to us as leaders in our community, in our region, and in the state. And so with that, I'll take any questions, or I'm happy to stand down and let you proceed.
Any questions? Ms. D'Angelo?
Yes, I have a question, and my question is, what is the cost to the school board for this?
So the cost that is before you tonight, I believe, is $1.5 million allocated to help with the short-term solutions that we have teed up to be deployed. The long-term solution is in the 70501 zip code is about $300,000 for capital outlay and about $100,000 for operational costs, which we will fund privately. We're not asking for funds from the school board for that. Can we commit to funding the entire parish? Not at this point, but do I promise if you approve this tonight and allow us to proceed with the short-term and long-term solutions, that we will commit all of our resources and efforts to find the funding for the rest of the parish? Yes, we will.
Madam President, Mrs. Strasler, how much money do we have available through is it CARE or how much federal money do we have for this kind of project without having to dip into our reserves?
So between CARES and both of them CARES, different pieces, we have approximately $885,000, which is almost 60% of the project.
And Madam President, what is the motion? What are we discussing?
There's no motion, it's just discussion, and the next item, we'll be voting on it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And Ms. Morrison, I would like to say that Mr. John Geis is available via Zoom if there are any questions for him as well. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I guess that's it. No one has any further questions. Okay, our next agenda item 2.2, discussion and our action concerning budget revisions to the general fund and to the capital improvements fund. I'd like to entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve
I'll
by
second.
Dr. Shashsong and a second by Ms. Mason. I'd like to ask for comments from the public, if you have.
Julia Reed, Lafayette Parish Association of Educators. Our association would like to support this, and we would encourage you to take Love Our Schools up on this offer. We recently nominated them for an award through our organization for Friend of Education, which they rightly won. And I think so the digital divide is real, and it affects our most vulnerable populations. And providing this short-term fix will hopefully inspire other government entities and other stakeholders to come to the table so we can solve this long-term problem. And we would like to we would like you to support it so that Lafayette Parish can be a leader in solving this very real problem. It is a very real problem that teachers face in the classroom, where some kids are able to have access to extra study things at home. The public library is an option for a lot of kids who don't have internet at home, but some of them don't have a ride. I know that a lot of you know there is library desert on a certain side of town, and those kids can't get access to internet, and that this would be a really good thing for our students, and we will hope that you will support it. Thank you.
Any additional comments from the public? Okay. Board members, do you have any comments from the board members? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and entertain a vote.
Five.
Okay, motion passed. Our next agenda item, item 2.3, discussion and or action concerning budget revisions to the Special Revenue Fund. I entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Dr. Shashal has a motion. A second. Mrs. Mason with the second. Any comments from the public? Any comments from board members? Mr. Angel?
Yes, under this program, are we asking any these homeowners to contribute anything toward this internet connection, or is it all free?
Mrs. Maggio?
Thank you. Mr. Angel, what we're doing is promoting for families to connect on their own and to fund it themselves at this lower cost. But if they cannot afford to do so, then they would have to qualify through the internet service providers, and those providers have their own qualifications from a financial perspective as to whether or not these families would be able to participate in such a low-cost program. And then we would, of course, subsidize on a short-term basis for these families that can't afford to provide the internet connectivity. So in some instances, we would be paying for all of it, and the families would not.
Thank you.
Any additional comments from the board? Any questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a vote.
Five, for, one against.
Motion passed. This is our last agenda item, so we will now adjourn the meeting, and thanks everyone for being here.